Welcome back, guys. So today we're working on my rear axles. Rear axle is literally toast. It's clicking like a good amount. It happened like a couple of weeks ago. I actually thought that I didn't know what it was. I thought it was actually my exhaust. So for weeks and weeks and weeks, I was constantly like taking the car apart, the whole exhaust system, putting it back together, and then in reality it was my axle. So I'll show you right now what I'm talking about as of a clicking noise. So as you can see right here, the axle's right here. If you listen closely, so the axle is pretty much toast. So I have to disconnect pretty much everything. Everything's got to come out. So I'll show you what bolts that need to be taken out to take your axle out. It's actually, there's not a lot that goes into it. You just need patience like normally. Instead of paying someone, I got quoted for like $500-600 just to take this out, and like I knew in the beginning that I wasn't gonna pay someone to do it, but I thought, I'll just do it myself, just see what the price would be. This noise only it doesn't happen when you idle, obviously, because it is your axle. So you'll basically hear it from like every gear, and I was hearing it from like first and second in the beginning. Just thought it was like pretty much normal, because the BRZ has that ticking noise in the front of the engine, and everyone knows that basically once you turn on the car it makes like a ticking noise. It sounds literally like a cricket ticking from your engine bay. So that's what I thought it was for a while, and then it just yesterday just got out of control and just constantly ticking. It was getting louder and louder, and like at that point you just like, I felt like I didn't really want to drive the car anymore. So I did some research and figured it out. It was the axle. So the things you're going to need to basically take your axle out. So what the things you're going to need for this job is, so this bolt right here, this is your hub bolt that sits right here. There's an indentation, and what you're going to do is, with the indentation, you're going to get a flathead screwdriver, put it in here and hammer it in so it can lift up the little tab on the nut. The nut is a 32mm socket. You're going to have to disconnect the lower control arm bolt that is right here, that connects up here. This is a 17mm. You're going to disconnect the upper arm right here, and this is also a 17mm. You need a 17mm socket and the wrench. Over here you disconnect the speed sensor lines. These are all 10mm that are right here, right in the back. There's one and then there's two. They connect right to the upper arm. You're going to disconnect your brake line cable. Let me get the light so you can see. There we go. So the brake line cable right here, you have to disconnect this as well. This sits right in here. This is a 12mm socket. And then that is, then you have to disconnect this arm right here. This connects onto the bottom side of the hub assembly, and that is also a 17mm socket. Once that basically comes out, you can basically kind of move this around, but with this being moving around, you need the upper arm to be disconnected so you can maneuver this a lot more, because with the upper arm connected still, it's probably going to be corroded into place. So the best way to take this piece out is you're just going to get the jack, the bar from the jack. You're going to literally push down on this. You're going to put it on top of the caliper and underneath the upper arm to create leverage, and then get yourself a hammer and beat the side of the hub so the arm pops right out of it. Is grab a flathead screwdriver, bang it onto right on top of this right here, onto the axle, and basically you're going to pull this out, but we're going to have to get something so you don't damage your brake lines and overextend them and break them, because doing this right here, you're putting stress on everything. You don't want to put stress on this, because this shit will break, your brake lines will break. So it's always good to put it on top of something or hang it up somewhere inside. But yeah, so we're gonna bang this out, and then I'll show you once I get out after that point. So after got the axle removed from the hub assembly, it took maybe like a matter of 5-10 minutes. I just PB blasted and just hit it with a, make sure you have an actual hammer, not a mallet, because you'll be sitting here for years. But there it is right there. The boot was ripped as well, but this whole assembly is completely toast. I might actually fucking take it apart to see what the damage is. So the next thing to do is you have to disconnect it from the differential. So I'll show you that now. Also, this is the car after being wrapped. Wrapped it myself. I wish I did vlog it, but I never did. But it was a great experience. I saved a shitload of money. Obviously, guys, like in certain spots you will see white. Like, I'll show you an example. Like right here, you'll see the white. You see it right there. There's white right there. And my camera doesn't really focus for some reason, but there's some spots, but it's really not the end of the world. Instead of me paying $3 grand, almost $3 grand for something, I spent $500 on material, and this is the aftermath of it. So honestly, guys, I have no experience wrapping a whole entire car. I've wrapped bits and pieces of my car and people I know. If you honestly want something to be done and you're afraid to do it, honestly just do it, because dude, the worst thing you could do is fail. And I know it's money, people don't want to fucking waste money on buying the material, putting on, and then fucking up, but at the end of the day, like, if I could do it, you can do it. It's just, all it is patience. And don't be alarmed right here. This is actually just glue. This is just glue, and I really don't care. So, right now we're underneath the car, and as you can see right in here, let me get the camera. You see how there's like this opening right here? You're gonna get your crowbar. You get the crowbar. You get your crowbar, and you stick it right into that crack. Right? You see? Right into the crack, and you just kind of pry it out. Just pushes it out. Just gonna keep doing that, and it'll pop right out. So guys, after basically using the pry bar to get that out, finally was able to get it out. Here it is right here. So this part right here goes right into the diff. I kind of pried this out so I can get in here and pry it out. And then this is the other side. The fucking boot ripped. Let me get into better lighting. The boot ripped, as you can see. But it came out. And if you can hear that noise, it's not supposed to do that. So, this is busted. I'm actually going to wait on doing it because I'm going to buy lower control arms through my buddy that works for Carbon Kings. If you ever actually need anything at all, aftermarket parts, anything, wheels, suspension, exhaust, anything at all, hit up mad_FRC. I'll put his Instagram somewhere around here or up here, I don't know, but I'll put his Instagram in the video and also down below. You got to hit him up. He works for a company called Carbon Kings. They're a distributor company that will ship basically anywhere around the United States. I don't know if they ship over the world, out of the United States, but anything you need, he's the guy to go to. Since he's been working for this company, I've been non-stop going through him to get parts for my car. So huge shout out to Jimmy, my boy. So once that comes in, we'll basically continue the video. The video right now is obviously going to end. So if you haven't already, guys, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at that guy in the BRZ, and I'll see you guys soon.